An interview on a song n-buna worked with Mone Kamishiraishi, actress and singer, brought out something that we definitely could relate to. As she puts it, the melody and guitar line of the demo I received from n-buna was full of Yorushika style. And if we listen to the song, I think we can all agree. So how does n-buna's unique approach to guitar lead to this Yorushika style? Obviously, information regarding Yorushika's writing process is limited, but one thing's for sure, they have made songs we all love, and from there we can analyze what they do to sound so unique, from harmony to melody and even a bit of production. So let's start with one of the most important factors to a Yorushika song. Let's start with the chords they play. There's one thing that they really like to play, and that's suspended chords. Well, it's more like chords that are built upon the tonic chord, but we'll get to that in a second. But these are the definitive Yorushika chords. They've been used in many of their songs. Wait a minute, that's not a suspended chord. That's a minor 7 chord. Well, there's more to it, which needs context, and for that, we need music theory. I know. Look, I'll explain this as simply and quickly as possible. Let's start with the major scale. Let's just use C major as an example. All major scales have the same intervals, the distance between notes, no matter what key you're on. So we can make this easier for us by labeling the notes using their interval relative to the tonic or the first note in the scale. Okay, so how does this relate to the chords played by Yorushika? Well, in a major scale, we have the diatonic chords built from triads. C major, which is our tonic chord in this example, has the notes C, E, and G. Now, the tonic and its fifth has a pretty neutral feeling when played with the other notes in the scale, and what Yorushika does is play the tonic and its fifth with no third, basically a power chord, while moving the bass note to make a chord progression. This obviously makes the tonic and its fifth constantly played, which gives it that calm breeze in an open field feeling. Remember the triads I mentioned earlier? Well, here are some chord progressions that Yorushika likes to use. Going back to the chords they play, since we now know how these chords are built, we can play across the fretboard in any key. So we can take this shape, which is essentially just a D power chord, and also this shape, which is just a G power chord, and then just move it up the frets to any key we want. So take for example, Songwriting in Coffee is an F sharp. And the F sharp power chord is this. Again, tonic, it's fifth, the tonic again, and then we just need the bass. And then that's how the intro to the song goes. Or take Dance of You as another example, which is in C, but we can play it up here as a G shape. So we can just use this C power chord, and then we just need the bass, and that's how the verse of the song goes. In terms of actually playing the chord, they do all sorts of stuff with this. They arpeggiate it, make some melodies by playing around that shape, and of course strum it. Now we'll move on to the more melodic side of their playing. One thing a Yorushika song almost always has is playing a catchy melody during the chorus and sometimes even the verse or pre-chorus. I'll be dividing this part into 3 since there seems to be 3 distinct play styles. The first play style is playing melodies while sustaining the fifth of the key. We can use this major scale position, with this being the sustained fifth. Or what Yorushika likes to do is play it up here in this position, with this being the sustained fifth. Here are some songs that use this playstyle. Moving on, we have a funky staccato playstyle. This is a relatively new playstyle that they've been using, and mostly what they do is just highlighting the chords like in Martian, their newest release. Here are some other examples of this playstyle. Our third playstyle for chorus melodies is, well, just make a melody, but there seems to be a trend that also applies to the previous playstyles and also when soloing, which is to always play high notes. The lower notes are usually used when playing melodies in the verse or pre-choruses instead of the chorus. Here are some songs that just play a melody. I would also like to mention that in some newer songs, they have been using sixths. Particularly in these songs. On the technical side of things, there are a few which they often use, and it mostly comes from blues and Hendrix. These techniques aren't limited to soloing, so they also use it when writing melodies for other parts. This is probably the single most used technique in Yorushika, especially the Hendrix quick hammer-on and pull-offs. And also they like to play diddly-doos. There's obviously a lot of songs that use this, but these songs seem to be the ones that use it as their signature sound. Blue notes are also very often used, blue notes itself being a note that's played out of key for expression. They do all sorts of things with the blue note, such as the quick slide thing. Here are just some songs that use this technique. Our final technique is going to be double stops, which is used pretty often in their early songs. Here are just some songs that use double stops. Onto the production side of things, I want to highlight the use of double tracking for their rhythm guitars. Double tracking is common practice, but Yorushika takes this up a notch. For those who don't know what double tracking is, here's an example in Ite. We usually double track by playing the same thing just panned left and right, but sometimes what Yorushika does is record a different variation for each track. It may differ in strumming or the chords they play, and sometimes even both. A good example is Matasaburo, which you can clearly hear the differences in strumming on the left and right acoustic guitars. Here are also some other songs that use this too. Now obviously they still do the traditional double tracking too, like I showed you before in Ite. So basically, if you want to play like them, all you need to do is use the Yorushika chord, add a melody in the chorus, use high notes, diddly doos, and do blues things. Thank you for watching.